The stream crashed again.
Again.
Ooh, they
There we
can
go.
see us.
We're back up and everything. I'm also getting rid of I'm going down to the minimum number of Chrome's tabs that I need.
Oh yeah, no, Chrome is
A hog?
Beyond a hog.
anything I can avoid running Chrome on, I will avoid running Chrome on.
Oops. Got the live stream up. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to gather today to mourn Sappho. Who was killed by a plot device because Utopia was too happy that he died. So sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. The stream crashed when we went to break because I had too much stuff running on my machine. But the good news is we're going to get that fixed next stream because I have found a new way to do this, and we're going to hopefully have much less going on this computer, and we're going to have another computer running with other things on it. So I'm hoping that'll help. But in the meantime, so as we were leaving, Drake and Lex had gotten on their attack ship and left the fire ship at all haste. Val had ordered basically a brace for impact for the most part, as the ship was... Actually, you were abreast, so because you were using your guns. So, you know, it was basically crossing the T in the reverse. Well, actually, it was crossing the T because they were flying straight into you, and your ship had turned sideways to be able to bring a full rack of guns to bear on them.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much a situation where, you know, the only thing you could do is go straight.
Yeah.
Sappho was trying to fly back.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
And Callie was watching as Drake's and Lex's little ship came flying around. No, not boobs. You're an admiral. You should know this.
Wait, he knows things?
We could say the same thing about
I mean,
you.
sometimes he keeps the brain cell warm. Sometimes
Only during blizzards.
it stopped snowing.
Oh no.
Aw.
I'm so
There goes
disappointed.
the brain cell.
You're a fraud.
Disappointed.
So you guys are sitting there, and then, like I said, all of you are blinded. Those of you who are sitting on the deck of the ship are thrown to the ground.
Oof.
And sent sliding. Your ship rocks violently over. It is pelted by debris. Your Drake,
Yes.
I need you to make me 3 20 rolls.
Oof.
Individually. One, then another, then another.
Okay. I liked you tonight. 20. 12.
Forget the last one if you roll a 20 on the first one.
And an 11.
All right. I was saying forget the last one if you rolled a 20 on the first one.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So
So, because you got a critical success. You guys were flying away from the ship. So the best part about that situation is you're not blinded. But your attack craft, instead of flying in a straight line, is now tumbling end over the end through the air.
Yep.
As
Not what I
it's just
expected.
overtaken by the force and just like thrown away. You are tumbling through the air. You're trying to get your bearings. Lex, I need you to make me 2d20 rolls.
Okay. Okay.
What was the
That
first
is
one?
that is the first one is a 20.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I got fuck you.
And a 1 is a fuck me.
Yep.
Well, since you got a critical success,
Wow.
I only made you make 2 rolls because Sam only had to make technically had to make 2 rolls, and since you got a natural 20 on yours, I'm not going to make any more. Your incredible thighs have saved you once again. Because you weren't strapped in.
Nope.
And so this ship goes tumbling end over end, and you use literally the G-forces of the ship and just fucking sheer strength as you're holding yourself in, legs pressed against the side, your hands grabbing the railing the ship's actually made out of. Your hands are grabbing that railing.
It's like the sitting version, almost of like a spread eagle, like just.
And then you're just watching like colors just stream by as you're just flying through the sky. But Drake, you do manage to get the ship under control and get it righted. It takes you a while. By the time you do, you are literally high enough in the air and far enough away that you can see the spindle, and it looks like a spindle, like a pinwheel cookie. You went tumbling miles through the air. Luckily enough, it knocked you up and away and not down towards the ground. Otherwise, you would have been an impact crater.
Yeah, we got lucky there.
As you come around, you can see that there is this huge curve around the spindle on the side where the ship was, where it looks like things were just obliterated. You see the Nameless is about you. It's closer to the spindle than you are, but it has been knocked through the air as well. It has quite a bit of damage, but it is still seaworthy. The 2 pirate ships were actually farther away, but you can see that one of them has a mast down. The other one is doesn't look as damaged as that one does, but they're both damaged and they're both still sailing away. There is nothing except for a large debris field underneath where it was on the ground, which looks like someone cast meteor swarm, and instead of like the 20 or 30 big giant meteors, thousands of small meteors were blown up all over the place. There's impact craters all over the ground. The sides of the spindle are pocketed with debris and holes, and there is like 2 full sections of the spindle that there's no ships on the dock. There's nothing on the spindle arms. All the structures have been destroyed. These things are not clear. And as you're watching, one of the spindle arms simply cracks and falls off, sliding down into the chasm.
It's like he sees us like, no, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't.
And there it
Damn
goes.
it. Of course. Of course.
Still, it could have been a lot worse if you hadn't done what you did.
If that fire ship had gotten over the city, it would have done that to the entire spindle.
It's like, and of course they're going to blame that on us too.
Al,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, but I don't think you can deny it anymore, buddy. You're a hero.
I don't want to hear it. They got away.
By the way, Lex,
Mm-hmm.
no way you didn't throw up.
Yeah.
It's like,
I am, however, covered in blood.
Yep.
don't worry, it's not mine.
So,
No, it's exactly what she's saying when she gets on the
Utopia,
ship. Not mine.
you wake up on the deck of the ship. And you kind of like are staggered your feet. There's a lot of people who are stumbling around. They're hurt. Especially the cannon crews took a lot of pain, actually, because the cannons got basically knocked backwards. And so a lot of the cannon crew are pretty badly hurt. So your instant thought is to go straight to start helping them. After a few moments, you get enough. Your mind becomes unclouded enough from just the whole shock of it all. You look around and you realize that the ship is gone. You don't know where Drake or Lex are, and you don't see Sappho anywhere.
Oh, no. Has Sappho just been obliterated?
Well, I'm using Sappho as he was from the other game,
Mm-hmm.
from the other
Okay.
version of the game,
We just poof back to Feyrealm.
which basically
Or
means,
Swapple.
yeah, if he gets destroyed, you have to cast the spell all over again. Like you don't, because you can dismiss him and bring him back as an action. So, but if he's destroyed like this, you have to literally recast the spell. But yeah, Sappho got blown to shit.
Yippee.
It's fine. We
The
can
good
bring him
news
back.
is
We
he
have the
probably
power.
didn't feel a thing.
Oh!
I mean, just vaporize in an instant.
It's like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
what's
need
that
more
bright light?
Just Thanos dusted.
Yep.
Oh my god.
No, because Thanos
I
left
don't-
dust. This is absolute incineration. There wasn't even particles left.
Yeah, it's that like classic scene in like battle anime where it's like just the white light,
Yeah.
the outline of the person.
Everything
Like the
silent.
streaks disappearing into the
Yeah.
I feel like Sappho would leave behind like pink glitter though.
pink glitter.
It's just
Oh,
really
shit.
glitter.
Fucking Redbeard. Admiral Redbeard, did you read the
Stop it.
citizen chat? I don't feel so good, Utopia.
Oh no. Stop.
Ah, you dick.
No, my baby. Oh.
Okay.
Was
So-
your baby.
So, you guys, those of you who are on the ship, you're dealing with a lot. God, I keep on forgetting his name. What's the engineer's name? Young guy.
Evan?
Evan. Yeah, Evan comes up from below decks, and he says, he looks around, he finds you, Val, and he goes running over, and he says, "Can't believe I'm saying this, but we're skyworthy.
That
We've
is
got a lot of injuries, but if the healers can get to them in the next couple of days, they'll be back up and running. We didn't lose anyone."
That is both a surprise and a relief.
I think it might have been because we weren't moored on the docks, so we weren't smashed up against anything.
Yeah.
He's like, he looks down and he says, "The Devastator's gone."
Well, that sucks. Can it be repaired or replaced?
No. The naval ship. Oh, sorry, not the Devastator. The Devastator was their guns. The Harpy.
Oh.
So were all the other naval ships that were moored there.
Oh no. Tell me we're not the only ship left.
He says, "Oh no, we're not the only ship left. They only hit about a quarter of the docks."
Okay.
He says, "But he's like, kind of looking over the railing of the ship. He's like, this is a quarter of the city gone."
Val, for the first time, takes a look over the railing at the city.
Like I said, it's almost a perfect, like, oval shape that's like almost like a bit, like a spoon coming down an ice cream. Except it's mostly burned and there's only that one spire on that broke off. But because it was just pretty much force, it just basically shoved all the buildings off.
Yeah.
So all the buildings and all the people who are in the buildings are down there.
How many gold on we get blamed for this too?
And Evan kind of looks at you as I don't think they're going to be looking to blame anyone. They're just going to be looking at recovering.
That's what they should have been doing the last time.
Evan says, looks at you, Val, and he says, "But just in case, we should probably get fuck out of here.
Agreed. But like before as we're doing we're doing all that, Val is going to cast his secondary version of message, the 4 AP, and try and locate Jaegerhorn.
Oh, you get Jaegerhorn right away. Obviously, the connection is cluttered with his mind being really, really distracted on 100 things. And you hear, Captain O'Call, I'm very, very busy. What do you need?
Just wanted to make sure that you're safe and that you're still alive.
We're safe. We're alive. We've lost a lot of people.
Yeah, we're aware.
He says there is, and there's a long pause, and he says, there is nothing you all can do here. He says, and I cannot guarantee your safety until we can get everything straightened out.
That's fair.
Says,
once I get all my crew back on board, we'll get the hell out of Dodge.
And I will, as soon as the blaming starts, I will do my best to derail it. The only problem is everyone who would have witnessed whatever you probably did to stop it is gone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Of course,
everyone on that side of the city is gone.
Shit, fuck, damn. All right. Well, we just wanted to make sure that you were okay and safe. You have a lot to do, so we'll let you get back to it. Best of luck.
If you see any naval ships out there, we lost. There was at least 4 other naval ships docked on that side. So that means we've lost about a quarter of the Navy's fleet that was left.
Okay. If we see any more ships out there, we'll do our best to send them your way.
Just inform them of the losses. Without the naval ships and without their ability to communicate, I only have the Senate's communicator, which means that I can only reach out individually. I can't. And it was only directly the capital. We haven't even made time to get arrangements for how we would communicate with the military, which is why, because so many of the ships were docked here.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll do what we can. We'll inform them of what happened and get them to come back this way.
Good luck.
And you. I'll cut the connection. Now, come back up. Jaegerhorn's alive, which is good. They inform us that we probably should be getting out of here soon because they can't ensure our safety.
Evan kind of just shakes his head and he says, I'll go downstairs and start making preparations. I just want to make sure that life support is well secure, because if we're leaving the planet, then we're going to be going through the mist, and the mist is unpredictable.
Yeah. That is fair. Is Rami okay?
She's down below. Her modifications to the engines are probably why we're still stable. She had us double insulating every single drive coil. He said, and it had just absorbed the shock.
That's good.
It was like we lost 1 battery crystal. 1. He says, she's brilliant.
She always has been.
He says, but in the meantime, if you want to speak with her, I'll send her up. I'll go down and relieve her for a bit. He kind of like gestures down. He says, those doors know what they're doing. Remember, his leg was all mangled.
Yeah.
He's like, it's good as new.
Yeah. And Val will pat him on the shoulder. Let's endeavor to keep it that way.
He's like, it wasn't my idea in the first place.
We know.
As I will be back. I'll send Rennie up in just a moment.
Very good.
He says, oh, and yeah, on the gunner cruise, we lost about half of them to injury. So for the next few days, I hope we don't get into a fight.
That makes all of us.
In the meantime, I am gonna put the Marines with some of the gunners and see get them cross-trained over just as a backup.
Good plan.
You know, he just heads off down below.
Kofi's just gonna kind of quietly follow him.
You're going below?
Mm-hmm.
And Val's going to use his lesser version of message, or whisper rather, not the lesser version, the full version of whisper, to reach out to Drake. Please tell me you're still alive.
We're still kicking. Someone brought a ship over. I should say a scouting vessel over.
Give Lex a hug for me.
I would if you didn't want us both to crash and die.
Fair enough. Get back here as soon as possible. We're gonna have to leave really soon.
Those bastards fucking got away. Damn it!
Don't worry. We're sure we'll catch up to them at some point. Now we have to tend to our own and get the hell out of Dodge before the city decides to point fingers at us.
As they always do, fucking cowards.
Jaegerhorn is alive, but he has no idea how long he'll be able to hold them off and how safe it will be if we stay.
Huh, we won't be safe at all. They'll stab us in the backs the moment they get a chance.
Indeed.
All to make themselves feel better and safer.
I'm assuming while you're having this discussion, you're piloting back.
Yep.
Yeah, with that ship, it doesn't take a fucking more than a few moments to get back to the Nameless. As you're flying around the outside of the ship, you can see that the hull is just peppered with debris that's embedded into the wood, and you can identify like pulleys, billiard pin, not billiard pins, but belaying pins, just stuff that was part of the ship. Literal planks that are embedded in the wood from the force of the blast.
Fucking hell.
And it's like the entire side of the ship looks like that. It's like as if one ship threw up on another ship.
I mean,
it was designed to be kind of like just a horrific, because all this shrapnel would have flown even farther than the force of the blast and destroyed more things.
We got fucking lucky.
we did.
We did thanks to you.
Oh, by the way,
get back.
Drake, there is docking stations for these little fighter, in fact, I think you had 2 in there, didn't you? There's
I
still
don't
2
think so.
of these that were intact in the ship.
Don't remember.
So he's gonna just
That'd be great.
get it in the bay, and as soon as that thing is docked, just make sure it's basically just properly locked in, disconnect, hop out, and just start heading topside. He's pissed.
Yeah.
Is Lex gonna go get a shower?
No, Lex probably immediately heads topside to check on everyone.
All right.
Still covered in. Lex doesn't care about being covered in blood.
Oh, I know. It's happened more than once.
Yep.
All right.
Fine.
Callie, what have you been doing?
There was an explosion. I didn't see for a minute, and now I see a lot of mess. I'm gonna go try to find some people that feel the ouchies and fix it.
You definitely can keep yourself occupied for quite a while. Like I said, the gunner crews took the most of the brunt of this, but there's a lot of people who got knocked around, and so there's plenty of. The biggest injuries are on the gunning crew, who basically were damaged when the cannons got blown around. So that's where your acts to take most of your time and attention to. But also, you notice that crew of dwarves, there's more than a few of them who have healing capabilities. I mean, they came aboard as engineers, but you can see that more than a few of them have very capable healing capabilities as well. And they are basically doing the same thing you're doing. They're going around and trying to help anyone who's injured. And actually, I think they have more healing capability than you do.
Probably. I just have mend.
Yeah. No, they have much stronger healing magics. And you notice that each one of them is clutching a medallion as they're utilizing their abilities. And they're basically, obviously praying.
Yeah.
They're the fancy people.
Just wait, Cassie. That tree gets a lot better.
So, as you're occupied doing that. Utopia, you went down below. Where are you headed?
I'm looking for Camille.
Camille's tending to the wounded.
Okay.
She's all like, and she's like, she looks kind of tired.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, no shit. This is like the 50th fucking city explosion we've dealt with.
I told you we were stopping the end of the world.
It's fucking bullshit.
The world's got to partially end to prove it's the end of the world.
It's been ending since like session whatever the fuck. I don't have my thing open right now. I have my other notes, not my notes on my notes.
Not my notes on my notes.
I don't have notes. I'm taking of my notes open.
I do have notes of notes. It's
my
helpful.
So, Camille sees you coming up, and she stops whatever she's doing. Like, she stops mending the broken leg she was mending and drops the leg, and the guy goes like, "Ah!" And then she just runs over and throws her arms around you.
She said, "Fuck that guy, whoever he is."
Oh, you're fine. Your leg's just not supposed to be pointed this way.
Callie comes running up and says, "Yeah, it's supposed to be pointed this way."
Crunch.
Fine, rub some dirt on it. You'll be good.
Rub some dirt. Jesus fucking Christ.
Just
Callie
get
reaches
some
into a
Vicks
little
Vapor
pouch and
Rub,
rubs
you'll
some
be
dirt on it.
Put some tucking on. You'll be all right.
Pull a chunk of moss out of her hair and just like, see? Told you.
Camille, like, she lets go of you for a second. She grabs your face and she says, "Tell me everyone's alive."
Yes, we didn't lose anyone. We're still able to fly. Well, I think something happened to Sappho, but I might be able to call him again. I'm not sure.
She's like, "Well, you said he was, like, not a normal horse, right? Or not a normal Pegasus."
Yes, but I don't know if the magic covers being vaporized. I hope so.
Wish I could tell you I knew.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh no, I'm fine. And she kind of like, she takes off the little, she's been taken to wearing like a little beanie when she's on the ship to keep her hair from whipping all around. And she takes the beanie off. She's got a big old fucking knot. And she says, "I wasn't totally unscathed." She says, "But, I'm sure the wood is very regretting getting in the way of my head."
You should see the other guy.
You should see the board.
You should see the board. You should see Lex. Don't worry, it's not her blood.
You haven't seen Lex, and you
No,
I know.
Utopia hasn't seen Lex, but we can assume.
I
So-
feel like if Lex came back not covered in blood, that's when we should be worried.
I know.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Lex comes back in like a party dress and it's like, "Oh fuck, the world is ending."
What the
What
fuck
the-
happened to
What
you?
happened?
Lex got body snatched.
This got by a snatch.
Who are you?
Who are you and what have you done with our friend? So you're sitting there with Camille and she's like, she turns around and is like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And she runs back over to the guy. She puts her hands on his legs. And she says, she says, what's going on? What are we doing? Are we going back to the city to help? What are we doing?
I don't think we're allowed to. Jaegerhorn's still alive, Val said. But I think we have to leave as soon as we can. Because I think they might just turn the blame on us again.
So she kind of like sits there for a few minutes. And then she kind of like stops. And she looks at you. And she has this weird look on her face. And she says, have you checked on V?
Did we save a whole bunch of orphans?
I swear to fucking God, Ray,
Like,
if you just
nothing.
vaporize the orphans, I'm gonna actually come to your house and kick your ass.
I would never do anything to orphans because we have rules.
The kneecaps are going
Damn it.
back on.
Oh,
the
the
path.
kneecaps are
Kneecaps are back on the
things to
menu.
children is not allowed.
The kneecaps, the elbows.
What other
The
joints
ears.
are
The
there?
elbows and the kneecaps will be reversed in position.
No, that's
the
still too
knuckles.
good.
That's
Uh,
still
Still too good.
I
The
don't know
heels.
if I have any form of like message or anything. I don't think I do.
Talk to Val.
Camille says Valkan, remember?
Hey, I'll go ask.
And she's she kind of finishes with the guy she's with, and she looks over to one of the other dwarven healers and says, I'm going to go up on deck. And he kind of nods to her, and she like grabs you, and she says, "Come on!" And she starts dragging you up into the deck of the ship. Val, you see Camille coming up on the deck of the ship, driving Utopia,
Oh, good.
and she's
You're all
walking
right.
straight at you. And she says, "No, I'm fine." She says, "We need you to. Can you call V and make sure they're okay?"
Holy shit, the children. Yeah, one moment. And we do message at V.
All right. There's almost an immediate response, and you see you hear yes.
Hi. It's Val. We just want to make sure that you and the children are all right.
Oh no, we're fine. The explosion didn't reach this far, but the shockwaves were very terrifying. We had some cave-ins, but the kids are okay. They're a little scared. Is Utopia okay? Are you all okay?
Yeah, we're fine. A little banged up and bruised, but we're okay. We're gonna be getting out of Dodge soon. Jagerhorn seems to think that they're gonna that the council is gonna try and blame us again. So we're gonna head them off before we can get the fuck out of here, before they can do anything.
She says absolutely. My father will. We are going to be providing as much relief as we can to the city. Don't worry about a thing. We'll be able to get supplies in here and get ships in here, and it will be fine.
You and your dad and those kids take care.
She says, I will make sure that everyone here is okay.
Do you
By
have any?
hiring the most incredibly badass mercenaries I can find, because I can't fight for shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fine.
Let's go.
That was part of the arrangement.
Very good. All right. Any message for Utopia?
Oh, I wanted to make sure she was okay. I mean,
Yeah, she's good.
yeah. Just tell her to take care. Is Camille okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Looks like she's got a bit of a bruise on the side of her head, but she's fine otherwise.
Camille's looking at you. She's like, she asked about me.
She did.
I would hope so.
I didn't mean anything by it. She knows you. She doesn't know me. Camille looks kind of flustered. She says, I gotta get back down below. And she starts walking off.
Ew.
She's so
Shy.
cute. She's so cute.
Adorable.
Love
Gonna
it.
throw up.
and,
Not on camera.
and Drake blows up.
I just, oh, well, that's disgusting.
Drake, you finally get up to the deck. Val, are you gonna say anything else to V?
No, I say my goodbyes and my good lucks, and we'll end the call. And we'll sit against or lean against the railing, just kind of. Camille and the children are fine. Utopia, everyone's fine. The explosion didn't reach them. There were some cave-ins apparently, and the shockwave, the sound of the shockwave scared the children a bit, but everyone's okay. V sends her love and says to take care of yourself.
I will try.
Yes, you will.
And this is when Drake and Lex walk up.
Yep.
Yeah, Utopia's just gonna kind of sit down on the deck.
She just like plops down on the deck.
Yeah, no, she's.
That will
the
walk
sheer
over.
amount of adrenaline from like, did you check on V? And like, oh jeez, the kids got exploded.
The kids, no.
It's like, no, they're okay. It's like, cool. My legs don't work anymore.
Val will walk over next to him, put like an arm around Utopia, kind of lean her over to him, and everyone's all right. That's about the best we can hope for.
Do we hear footsteps from Lex and Drake walking up?
Ah,
Sounds a little wet.
Where Utopia's gonna look up and say,
yeah, look up and like the first
Drake just looks pissed.
eyes immediately draw to Lex first. Covered in blood. That's about right.
It's not mine.
Never is.
It's the guy I sat on.
You
You
sat on
what?
He was
We're
already
sure. Oh, okay.
he's full of shit.
Make sure you let Callie know about
Good point. Good point. Lex will
Okay.
go off to find Callie.
Drake.
What's the damage?
Well, we didn't lose anyone. Lots of banged up and bruised.
I thought we did lose people. Out of character. I thought we did lose people. We lost half our gunner crew.
No,
To
not,
injury.
they're not dead.
Injury.
They're
Okay.
just injured.
I mean, some of them have like literally crushed limbs,
Yeah.
but
they're
Lots
not
of injuries.
dead.
they're not dead. We can work with crushed limbs. We can't work with
Can't work
dead.
Well,
I mean,
Callie can work with
dead.
Not to
I
the
can work
same
with that.
degree. Can a
I
Timmy
can work with
operate a
that.
cannon?
no.
She tells it to.
Yeah, probably.
It could be cannon fodder.
You can load a Timmy in a cannon.
Ah, yeah. That's how we
No!
attack the enemies.
Don't
We
put the
shoot
Timmy in
zombies onto
cannon.
the enemy ships and watch the chaos unfold.
I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah, I feel like if we had a corpse, we can put it on a cannon and just say fire.
Yeah.
It may not be super effective, but it
Would
could
be funny.
theoretically light a fuse.
Zombie cannon was super effective.
Zombie cannon is
We
super
rig, we
effective.
rig the body with a bomb and then launch it at it. Everyone sees the body land
Oh
and
my
the body
gosh.
explodes.
You put the body in the cannon and use the spirit to inhabit a guy that fires the cannon.
Ooh.
That is a war crime right there. Make some guy shoot his own body out of a cannon.
That's a magical war.
They're
I
literally
love that.
in what's the name of that plane of hell that was recently done with the Baldur's Gate adventure?
Avernus?
Avernus. There are literally living guns that are souls that are bound to the demonic weapons.
Oh, yo, I can't do
Just,
that. I
like,
can only
grow
put them
up.
into bodies.
Hmm?
Do they just like throw up and just like?
No,
like-
they can move and they can aim the guns.
Yeah, but is it like the mouth is like the barrel and they like? Bleh.
I don't actually know. The one that I
Think of it
saw,
like you're taking
What
a
is the
howitzer.
anime with the
You're
gun
taking a
head? It's
howitzer.
an anime.
You're
gunhead.
taking a howitzer cannon and locking a soul inside of it.
Yep.
That's the equivalent of it.
Yep.
You're taking anti-air cannons and then taking the soul out of somebody else and putting in the anti-air cannon. It's a haunting.
Well, the
I mean,
soul's
you don't
already
get
out
any
of someone
choice.
else. It's someone who went to hell.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Andrew
It's
made
fine.
a gun mage class that was pretty much using the souls of the people that they've killed as bullets.
Oh my god, I love
Jeez.
that. Oh, I love that.
How many people you gotta kill to have
That
like a full clip then?
That
Only
a
like
lot of
six.
people.
Oh my god. Are they reusable or is it one soul per bullet and then the bullet's gone?
shit.
I think there's a mechanic in it where they are reusable. I don't remember the
Okay,
exact
okay.
like wording of
I mean,
the class.
souls are
but it's
reusable.
pretty damn cool.
Souls are reusable.
That's what
Reduce, reuse,
reincarnation is.
recycle. Necromancy.
All right.
I
Anyway,
mean that part.
so Callie,
Yeah.
you're tired. You've
Yeah.
been burning a lot of energy and healing. You're pretty much tapped out for that. How much of your AP are you going to be willing to spend to heal? And how much does it cost you?
Mend is only one. It's
You should have.
Yeah, it's not
Have you spent any yet?
I don't think I have.
Hmm. So you should have 20 right now.
20?
The initial 10 plus the 5 from last time and a 5 from this time.
Okay. I'll probably use about 10 to
Okay.
try to get people back up.
Gotcha. And you basically you're taking the more lightly wounded because Men's not a super strong healing spell. But no, that's perfect because that leaves the dwarves to be able to spend theirs on the much more heavily injured.
Yeah. Economizing.
Yep. And so but yeah, you burned out quite a bit. So, and actually, to be honest, they're doing it in shifts. They're basically anyone who's critically injured, they're getting them pretty much what a hospital will do, triaging. They're getting the critically injured stable. They're getting them set aside to where they can do more for them more gradually because it's, it depletes a lot of resources to heal someone all the way up immediately. So they got them stable, they got them, comfortable and out of pain, and they'll do more the next day. So you're pretty much gassed about the same time they are. So there's everyone is made comfortable and you come back up on deck. Drake, where did you go?
Up topside, mid conversation with Val.
Yep.
More than likely.
Yeah. So you're sitting up there and you're coming up. What are you doing after you're done healing, Callie?
I hurt real bad. I'm gonna find a bunk.
Yep. Actually, while you were healing them, one of the dwarves actually came up and he put his hand on your shoulder and you thought he was like, trying to check and see how you were doing or whatever. And
Yes.
as you look up at him with terror in your eyes, you see that it's Tarek, the leader of the dwarven crew, and he puts his hands on his shoulder, and he says, "You look like a side of beef that's been pounded on with a hammer for about an hour."
Yeah, I kind of feel like I rolled down a mountainside.
He's like, "I've done that once or twice myself. I don't recommend it." He's like, "Would you mind if I minister to your wounds?"
Oh, I think it's just a couple ribs that I cracked.
He says, "It's 4 ribs that you cracked. He says, and you also have a hairline fracture in your right arm. And you probably have a mild concussion."
Oh, I have plenty of those.
"I know. I'm going to replenish you just enough to make it less distracting." And you feel your ribs pop back into place, but it doesn't hurt. It's a very strange sensation, like pops inside your chest cavity. And suddenly you can breathe a fuck ton easier.
Wow, I didn't realize Ooh. That was amazing.
He says, he kind of looks at you and he says, "You've never been healed by your own magics before."
I didn't think I could do that.
We can all heal ourselves. You've never
Oh.
thought to heal yourself when you're wounded.
No.
He kind of smiles a little bit and he says, "That's refreshing. But you need to consider that if you're not around to help others, there'll be no one around to help others."
Nobody gets left behind.
He says,
Yeah, I'm figuring that part out.
he kind of looks at you and he says, "I know this is a ridiculous thing to ask, but are you alright?"
I think so. There's been a lot that happened in the past 24 hours, and I'm not exactly sure what I haven't done that thing where you figure out where everything is at.
Once you figure that all out, I expect you to come and tell me, because I have no idea where anything fucking is.
Yeah. Oh, I'll figure it out and I'll take notes.
I'm sure you will. He says, "Now, get out of here. My boys and I will get everyone else situated. You've done enough. Thank you."
Okay. Yeah. She just like pop back up and run upstairs to try to find everybody else.
Yeah, you're moving much easier now. You're not doing that whole half crawled over, arm pressed to the side, leaning up against the ship walk.
Didn't even notice my arm.
So Callie comes up on deck as Drake and Val are talking, and looks a fuck ton better than she did when she went below deck.
Wow. You look like $1,000,000 gold.
Is that a lot?
It's a lot. You look
Okay.
really good.
Oh, yeah, I broke 4 ribs. I hair fractured my arm, and I got a cushion in my head.
A concussion?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. You did take quite the fall earlier.
I've bounced higher than that before.
Let's try not to do that.
Did you know you can use magic on yourself?
Yeah?
Okay. No, that's...
Did you
Huh.
Did you not know that you could do that?
I mean, I know I can change. I just didn't think I could fix things.
Yeah. I mean, we can't anymore because we don't have any healing abilities at the moment, but we'll show that. We'll change later. But yeah, you can heal yourself. It's a good time.
I'll have to remember that.
We'll make sure you do.
How's
Good to
everybody
see you.
else? Did anybody else get hurted?
So Utopia is just sitting on the deck.
Yeah, Utopia's still sitting on the deck next to Val.
Yeah.
Lex, are you
like
on the deck too?
Yeah, Lex is on the deck.
Lex is coated in blood.
Yep.
Utopia's sitting on the ground like she's exhausted. Drake is Drake, so he's pissed off.
Captain,
Yeah.
if we're good to make wind, I'm going to make sure we've got the navigational tool in place and get us on the right path.
That's a good plan. We need to get out of here ASAP. Good job out there, Drake. You saved a lot of lives, whether you know it or not.
We can talk about it later. Those responsible got away.
It's
Again.
that happens. And Val will put a hand on Drake. What's more important right now is that you are alive and that we saved lives today. Whether or not
Yes.
they thank us for it is beyond the point.
Oh, I don't give a fuck if they thank us for it, but as long as as long as those fuckers live, they're gonna keep doing it over and over again.
And we will eventually take care of that. We need you with a clear head, Drake. Take a breath. And let's get the hell out of here.
Do you need to hit something? I
I
can
highly
summon,
doubt
I
that
can
will
summon my shield. You could just hit it a bunch of times.
Last I checked, stabbing or
make a big
shooting things
pillow.
doesn't make things better.
I can
Okay.
make a pillow out of moss. Sometimes it's really fun to just scream in it. Don't breathe in though, because
Oh.
you can't.
The moss, yeah.
It's very loose. Yeah.
Good to know.
I coughed up spores for a week one time.
Oh.
If I need to
That
kill someone in their
sounds-
sleep, a pillow full of moss will do the trick.
Oh,
There you
that is
go.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
He's gonna reach into the bag and just pull out the freaking navigational disc. It's like, let's put this to good use, and he'll head off towards the helm.
All right. So the ship starts setting off into a trajectory to leave planet. Leaving planet is still an exertion, even though there's not really an atmosphere. But each one of these planets do have a gravitational well, and so there is some effort in getting off planet. So the ship begins going up. The engines that are used for moving the ship around inside the atmosphere are also mostly the ones that are used when when you're in space. However, the big difference is there are two main thruster engines that are only really used for leaving a planet or for a very long straight journey in an area where you know what is ahead of you, because the speeds you get up to with that are, without trying to beat out a gravity well, are excessive, and it takes a while to slow down. So ships do use those engines on occasion, but they usually don't like to, because it's almost impossible to see what's ahead of you, and by the time you register something's ahead of you, you've hit it.
It's like entering light speed without a light speed track.
Yep. It's ludicrous speed.
Yeah. You've hit plaid.
Dangerous. Dangerous.
The worst pattern to exist.
Oh,
But
I love plaid.
Now I have to rewatch Spaceballs.
You know they're making a part 2.
They are?
Yes.
Finally?
Yeah.
How many years has it been?
I don't know, but they're making a History of the World Part 2, and they're making a Spaceballs Part 2.
I was like
Oh my god.
3 or 4 when the first one came out, so it's been a bit.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's been at least 40 years.
Yep. All right. So he basically, you guys start the ship starts lifting off. After a bit, you feel the shaking as the main thruster engines power up, and the ship begins pushing its way out of the gravity belt. The ship really does shake when this happens. Anyone who's done interplanetary flight recognizes this. And then suddenly, it's just gone. And for a few seconds, everyone is literally weightless. If your feet are against the deck, they're against the deck. But the one thing that is completely weird about the situation is your backs all pop a lot, as all the weight is taken off your spinal column. Your knees unclench
Oh.
as there's no weight on them.
We forgot.
And your
Oh.
ankles have no stress.
Is this what comfort feels like?
And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, the artificial gravity kicks on, and it feels like you're smashed with a hammer.
Ah!
Unless you're used to
There
that
we
sort
go.
of thing.
Yeah, you can see all the regular crew just bracing themselves. They don't let themselves get comfortable. It's like hang on to something for a second.
Drake is quite literally just as he's setting up the navigational track, just standing there like, deep breath in and out.
Yeah.
This is not his first rodeo.
Nope. And the iGrav is just there to keep people from floating off the ship. There is a magical bubble caused by the gravity field and by the actual atmosphere within the ship. And if you somehow leave the deck with enough force to leave the bubble, you'll be at the mercy of whatever the atmosphere is outside the ship. Because of the Mist Mother concentrating all the usable particles here, it's mainly a breathable atmosphere. But
Sometimes.
yeah, but sometimes there's areas where, like, just like in the ocean, where there can be areas that are lacking enough oxygen for life to maintain. In the mist, you can fly through an area where there's not enough oxygen to keep someone alive. Or you could fly through a pocket of fucking, like, what's a cyanide gas.
Oh.
Oof.
You know what I mean? You could, because it's just what was around. She moved it in here and concentrated it here so that life could be maintained even between worlds. Now, some of the things that live out here and that are some of the big things that are different about the Kingdoms of Mist than anything else is that there are creatures that have adapted to life in the mists. They never go to planets. They sometimes go to planetoids, but they hardly ever go to planets. Like, there is a type of, for the lack of a better word, a whale that has adapted to filtering nutrients and particles out of the mist itself. These whales get to like 100 to 200 feet long, and they're for the most part, they ignore anything that isn't one of their natural predators. Their natural predators are like wyverns, dragons, and some other terrifying rocks, and some other terrifying creatures that live out here that can live out here in the mists. There is all kinds of other life that lives out here. And usually these cluster around any of the little asteroids and planetoids that float around, the mini planets for the most part, because they don't have a strong gravitational pull, so they can actually land on them and take off from them. The whales tend to stick to what everyone refers to as deep water, which is empty space. The whales don't like being near shit. They don't like being near planets. They don't like being near planetoids. And that's mainly because they don't really adjust real fast, and they could run into them, and that's painful. So they like to be in what would like to be better quality is open water. There's also tons of predators that are out here. Like I said, there are wyverns. There are things like air sharks and there's tons of other creatures that swim around and fly around out here. It is pretty much a very odd change from being on planet, because everything in the mist is three-dimensional. It's every single object in different motion. You are at the center and everything else around you can affect you. So literally, you have someone who is in the crow's nest keeping in watch, and there is the job that is called the ship's job, the shittiest job on the ship. The person who gets assigned to the anus. The anus is a observation bell under the ship. And literally, it's a shit job because you get stuck down there for half your shift, and your only job is to make sure that nothing is attacking from below.
Yeah.
Because with artificial gravity, things can come in from any angle.
Yeah. Ugh. That's fun.
Yep. So, Drake, are you currently helming the ship?
Yes.
All right.
He's got the navigation tool. It only makes sense for him to use the navigation tool and actually steer them where they need to go.
All right. So,
Taking the shortest route possible.
yep, the shortest route possible is always the most direct route, which is also the most dangerous because you're plotting out all the planets and everything like that, and the planetoids. Your first leg of the ship can be done at very high speed. You can run at high speed for about 6 hours, and then you're going to have to start the slowing down process, which takes about 3 hours to get. And but that will put you. That's like about probably the first quarter of the entire distance of the trip is taken up by that one jump. The rest of it is a bunch of smaller, much slower moving between the moons and the rocks and everything like that. But you can't do at that level of speed because, there might be something in between you and here and there. But for at least the next 9 hours, you're going to be going in a straight line. And, the only thing you have to watch out for is if there's anything that comes in the path. But like I said, if there's something in your path, you're probably dead anyway.
Yep.
The shields hopefully will deflect it, but
Otherwise, splat.
otherwise, splatty splat. So you basically lock in the course, you set everything up, you ring the bell that warns everyone to brace for acceleration. The engines wind up, the ship builds to acceleration, not massively, it's gradually, and builds up to acceleration, and soon the mists are just whipping by, and you can tell the ship is moving at a high rate of speed, but the moment you stop looking off ship and you're just get busy whatever you're doing, can't really even tell the ship's moving. You guys are gonna spend 9 hours doing that. What are you guys gonna do during that time period?
Rest.
It's
nap
with
time.
fun ramming.
All right.
I'm taking a nap.
Utopia's gonna go rest. Lex,
if
what are
you
you
have
doing?
a fucking emotional breakdown, is what I'm gonna go do.
Lex would probably get a little rest, but probably want to hunt down Drake first if she can find him.
Drake, what is Drake doing?
Currently steering the ship.
Well, like I said, once you lock it in, you have to stay on the helm, or you can assign one of the other pilots to it, because if there's any type of change in navigation that needs a button, you have to be right there, Johnny, on the spot to do it. So someone always has to be there.
He'll probably be there with the spare helmsman, just double checking their path, watching the rotations, just annotating notes for the other helmsman on what to look for. Just making sure that if something happens, you have to step away. There is going to be no chance things are going to get missed or awry.
So far, everything looks good. The navigation device seems to be very, very accurate, which is wonderful. The charted course should take you safely to your destination. The junior helmsman is watching everything you do, and he's especially watching as you use the navigational tool. And he says it's so much better than trying to do everything by hand and doing all the math.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind it right now, but this is much easier and much more accurate and faster.
Yes, the faster is the part that I like. So as Lex, you come into the helm and you see Drake and the young man that's like kind of, they have the navigational tool that Drake has, basically the giant model of the solar system, and they have the maps out and they're looking to be double checking things.
All right. If we're lucky, we'll be able to follow this course all the way there.
Like, Miss Mother be
But
good.
Yeah, but I don't trust luck. It's fucked us every other time. I don't see why it won't fuck us now.
The junior helmsman kind of looks at you and says, "Right. Why don't you take a break, sir? Maybe go get some sugar." Or anything positive.
When you've been through everything we have, positivity is a little short sometimes.
He looks at you and he says, the little helmsman looks at you and says, "Maybe I should take a break then. This is very uncomfortable." And he
Go
walks
get
out of the helms.
Go get some food.
You okay?
What do you think? They got away. We had them right where we wanted them, and you still played right into their fucking hands again.
I'm gonna get them.
Then what?
We're gonna keep getting them until they're all fucking dead. Till they can't do this shit anymore.
We
Bean.
hope.
Maybe.
She wants extra food.
Mm-hmm.
Bean, no.
Why do you hate Bean so much?
Bean is on a very strict diet.
I know.
We have all witnessed Bean demanding the foods.
No.
But Dad,
But Dad,
Dad, why do you hate me, Father?
Father, have you seen my butt?
Look at it. It must needs sight.
oh my god.
Look, when all this is said and done and we're all done with it, then I'll relax. Until then, there's no point. I'm not letting my guard down again.
I'm not expecting you to relax. It's not the same, but some of where you're coming from, I get. I don't expect you to just chill out and have a drink by a pool tomorrow. Just
Nice as that
chill.
would be.
I mean, yeah.
Every time I tried to get R&R before, every chance I get, it got interrupted or turned down or denied before I had a chance to say anything about it.
Rip sandwich. I was not in character, but I had to say it.
Sandwich.
Rip
The
sandwich.
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 God.
But that's
Somebody will
life, I
get those
suppose.
sandwiches again.
I'll move past that. There's so much to do in so little time. And everywhere we go, we're just going to bring more bodies down with us. Enemies and allies alike. That's life.
And that's life. But if we don't do it, nobody else can.
Or will.
So we do it to the best of our ability, and hopefully we don't die in the process too.
If it wasn't for the ones I'm trying to live for, I'd probably be dead by now. Gotten lucky every other time. Still. Someone's gotta die, it might as well be someone like me.
I know you don't want to hear this, and I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to say the word. But you realize if you had not done what you did, how many more people would have died? So yeah, we lost people today. And sometimes it might look like us dying is the better option. And if that had happened to us today on that ship, you know what? We'd have saved a whole fucking bunch of lives, and I'd been okay with that. It's not always, it can't always be about the ones we didn't save. Sometimes it's got to be about the ones we did, even if they don't give a shit.
They never will.
Doing it, no. They're never going to know. They're never going to care. Because to them, we brought it on. But we know what we did. We know how much worse it could have been for them.
Either way, it's said and done. No use crying over spilled milk. At least while I wait, I can brew more of these. And he's just going to bring out a small kit with some bottles and start putting stuff together. There's what looks like a few bottles that are already made. One of which being like pitch black. And one of them being more like a periwinkle blue.
That seems far beyond anything that I could probably do, and I'm a little scared. Not of you, just like of those.
Well, this one will put you straight to sleep for about an hour.
I mean, I can usually do that just by punching someone.
This recipe I'm working on, he starts to mix it. It comes out to more of like a white liquid. This one is something I will more than likely use sparingly. But I highly doubt after people see its effect that they will be unwilling to loosen their tongue after the effect or after seeing it. The effects are as recorded. Imagine something so painful you're writhing and screaming, unable to really speak or do anything except react to all the pain you're in for about an hour.
Sorry, I thought of something really stupid to respond with, but I'm not going to say it. I don't think I want to imagine that. Like that sounds like it's gonna hurt me.
Which is exactly why I'm planning on putting it on a blade and using it in case we need to as an example. At the end of the day, we need someone on this team who's on occasion willing to go a step beyond anyone else. We can't fight by rules if we're going to beat these things. That's why I hate the concept of being called that. Because heroes aren't going to be willing to do what I am. I don't care what lengths we have to go to save this world or stop these things. I will go as far as necessary. Even if it means coating my own hands in blood.
To me, it's what makes you the best kind of one. You're not willing to just... You're willing to get your hands dirty. No, Lex is still covered in blood.
I was gonna say, if Lex is still literally covered in blood, he's saying that, then it's like, well, yeah.
You're willing to go as far as needs be gone. Doesn't mean you're not the thing. You're just a different kind of one.
If I'm going to be that, it's better than my name is never known. I would rather be the one working in the shadows and making sure the job actually gets done than the one who gets the spotlight. Leave that for someone like Val or Utopia.
You think Val's not gonna, at the end of all this, when it's said and done, not gonna drag you into the light? Make sure that what you did is known?
Not if he's paralyzed for the next hour.
Yeah, okay, but see, there, at that point, you have to get past me.
Is that a challenge? All it takes is a little nick of this stuff.
Yeah. But just remember, I got fun skills too.
Yeah. But that only means if you get hit by it, you get paralyzed.
That's assuming it'll actually work on me.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on that.
Really, I was gonna say the same thing to you.
Well, at least it's better than this one. He's just going to pull out the one that's like pitch black.
Just death.
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
There's another variant I can make that's a bit nastier, though. It's crystal clear. Looks like water. Tastes like nothing. And it doesn't kill immediately. Takes time to cook off in your stomach. Kills you in about a week.
Cheerful. I like it. And then she'll point to the black vial. Could we put that on my axe?
Sadly, I don't think there's enough, which is exactly why I'm coating it in this. And he's literally just going to take one of the rounds for his new gun. Literally put it on a string, open up the vial, and just dip it in it. If I ever use this bullet, I'm not planning on letting him walk away.
Wait, you ever plan on letting people walk away?
Well, we've seen how much these pirates like to run away with their tails between their legs.
That's different. They're running like bitches because they're bitches.
Yes, next time they try that, though, as long as I can get line of sight on their captain, I can make sure they're silenced permanently.
We do also have those skiffs.
We'll see what we can
could-
arm them up with.
We could go for the engines.
Not too far off now. We have no idea where they went.
I'm not talking about now.
Also, the skiffs have, because of the amount of power they drain, they have limited battery time.
We'll need to charge them up. Maybe we can use one of the broken guns, see if we can't refit it into the skiff.
Oh, I like that plan.
Get rid of those gravity launch torpedoes. They won't do us much good in 0G.
Yeah, they do.
Well, they will. The momentum will help, but they won't be as much gravity assisted as they might be otherwise. So they won't do.
Gravity is actually a detriment to them because it pulls them down.
Yeah, since if you're coming from straight down.
There's no gravity in space.
True.
They'll keep going in a straight line at the same speed forever. An object in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted on by another object.
It's like the broadside torpedoes on those things will do some damage, but I'm pretty sure the force cannons will do more. And we won't have we'll have more shots available to us.
And also, we won't potentially have to kill ourselves to get something off. Phrasing.
Actually brings up an idea. Those things that hooks on the end of them. But what if instead of used against that, we attach the hooks to the barrels with a pull fuse? Fly over with the hooks. Hooks hit the deck. Hooks grab the deck, pulling the barrel off the ship as we go by and pulling the fuse. They've now got a time bomb on deck, or attached to the side of their ship.
That is an interesting idea.
And if we can get our hand on a little bit of dust to add to the mixture, we can possibly damage their gun decks.
Well, we've got travel time. Now we've got projects.
We'll speak to the engineers, see what we can work up.
Yeah, the overall trip time is roughly 2 weeks. Like I said, a quarter of the distance was done by the straight shot, but the rest of it is all like just navigating through the system. So you can't do it at the high speed, you have to do it at normal speed, and then you're just moving through everything and making adjustments.
Don't stay in here all night. Get some rest.
Yeah, I'll sleep in here. Someone needs to be here if something goes awry.
Right then, that junior pilot comes in, and he's got like what looks to be like some kind of sandwich has been slopped together, and like he's got like a flask of ale, and he walks in, and he comes in and he says, "Sir,
Aye.
that one dwarf Tarek said that if I didn't relieve you and tell you to go get sleep, that he was going to hit me in the head with his hammer."
I'll go talk to Tarek.
Okay, but he's going to hit you in the head with his hammer. He said if you came to talk to him, he was going to hit you in the head with his hammer.
It's not what I'm going to talk to him about.
Okay. He looks at you, Lex, and he goes, "He's really going to hit him in the head with a hammer." So.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna follow along just to maybe try to stop something. Who knows?
He's got his notebook out writing down these modification ideas just so he can present it with him and ask him what he can do as he walks.
And so you guys head down below?
Yeah, we'll head down below.
Yeah. So Tarek has been basically, he's now that his men have done all they can as healers, they're turning back over to into engineers, and they're looking at damage, repairing stuff. You come up, you find Tarek, and he's basically talking to one of the other dwarves about a repair job onto one of the gun decks. Actually, the first gun deck down. So you come walking up to him, and as you come walking up to him, he holds out one hand as he's looking at a piece of paper with his finger out. It's like holds his finger up to he's like, "That one. Yeah. No. All right. Yeah. That one." And then shut that one down until we can get that one stabilized. And then, yeah, exactly. All right. Go on. Get. And and then he goes like, "One more second." And he's like, reaches over and he hefts up a hammer. He's like, "All right. I'm ready for you. Come here."
He's like, "Got a question about some modifications for you."
He's like, "Uh-huh. We'll talk about it when you wake up. You can bring that down here, or you can make me bring it down here. But that one's going to cost you your knee and your head."
I'm about to go rest. I just wanted to give you something to look over to tell me what you think.
You're going to go rest.
I don't think I have a choice now, do I?
No.
Well, you are going to rest, yes. It's just whether you wake up with a headache or just sore all over.
I think I'm already in enough pain.
I know, that's why I was trying not to bash your head in, but you would not go get some rest.
I'm going to get some rest. Just
all right, let me see this thing. And he like literally just takes the paper out of your hand. The hammer is just like sitting between his feet and the floor. He looks it over and he's like, "All right, so counter up bomb."
a little bit more advanced than that.
Yeah, but it's just a variation.
Basically.
But it's good. It's like the chains would have to, it had to be chains because the rope would probably just snap, depending on how fast you were coming in. It's like, I'm taking, you wanted to put this on the fighters?
Aye. We put full fuses on them. As soon as they're yanked off, it starts the timer on the detonation devices.
No, that would
They'll
work.
have just enough time to slam into the ships, and then by the time they impact, maximum damage.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much of a counter anyway, by 34 seconds, especially if you're coming in at speed. It says, the gun thing though, we've tried it a lot. It's like the biggest problem is the gun is such a drain on the battery. It says that we can't put a battery big enough in a small attack craft to power a gun. A gun that will do any punch to a ship. Now, if you're just looking to strafe the deck and put the crew down, it says you can put a smaller gun on. But you're talking about modifying one of the cannons onto one of the fighter
I'm
ships.
talking about something smaller that we can use against some of the other small craft.
Oh yeah, we can put several guns on there. The smaller craft are so fast though; they usually can't even target each other, which is why we've never really bothered with craft to craft combat with those little things. The biggest combat we've ever seen between those is when they just don't notice each other and the boom in midair.
Well, thankfully, I've got an edge on that one.
Well, if you do, then we
I
can
can
talk
see where
about
things are going to go.
if you can literally predict your path before you get there, then yeah, you could probably mount some smaller guns on there. We could modify out some of the rifles and put the
That
fire
could work.
control on the gunner, the normal gunner. So, and we could put a small powder crystal in the front to power that up. You'd get a couple hundred rounds in, but that's more than enough to pepper up a few ships if you can actually get it in.
Not to mention, could use it on the engines as well. A precise hit could slow them down.
Yeah. If you can get them behind them, yeah, you tear them up. Those crystals are exposed for a reason, they have to put the thrust somewhere.
Which makes them a mighty fine target.
Yep. Big glowing red ass.
Not to mention, the way the most shields extend out, a small fighter could slip in just beneath the shield to get some shots off.
Well, that's what I was saying. If you wanted to strafe the deck, it's not going to do much to the hull of a full-size frigate.
Well,
but you do have deck guns to worry about, and if you can make those gunners drop down and cover their asses, you've limited the amount of fire coming in.
make their lives a living hell.
It's like, pretty much. It's like we can get the modifications done on the two ships that you had below. It's like the one you brought in is pretty banged up. It's going to need a lot of repair in the first place. It says, but the two ships that you actually have in there, we can do is like, and when we get to Kyrell, it says we can probably get the rest of those bursts knocked out. We don't have any pilots per se.
But now I'd say use the beat up one for spare parts if need be.
Right.
We can have some parts in reserve in case anything breaks on the other two.
Well enough.
And if we have time, those willing to learn, if we have the crew to do it, I'll teach them how to fly.
All right. It says, I doubt any of my boys want their feet to leave the deck. It says, but you're more than willing to ask around. For my boys, we know how we design those things. Yeah, you fly through a bird and you die. So
Yeah, we crashed into a bunch of trees once. It's fine. We're still here.
Drake basically died, and then God would come down and be like,
We crashed
wait.
through trees. After we flew with enough speed with that axe to split 2.5 demons like logs.
if you are going at full kilter on one of those things and you swung that axe from that thing, number one, it would have ripped your arms out of socket. Number two, he's like, yeah, it'd go through some stuff.
Yeah, my arms are still here.
Must be a fine axe then.
Sharp as hell.
Pulls it out and looks at it. It's like, oh, that's a bone breaker.
Yep.
So basically, you were slicing through Jello. That's cheating.
Yeah, I
You
don't
call
know
it
what's
cheating? I getting a guaranteed win.
I don't know what's worse.
He's
Don't
like-
worry, it's not loaded at the moment. But this, as he pulls out and like he has to fight it for a second because it instinctively aims at the head and then he just quickly just tilts it away.
Don't
He's like-
kill the engineers.
he's like-
we need them.
He looks at it and he says, yeah, that's an assassin's gun. He says, well, not the type of thing you want to be announcing, but you're on our side, so I'll give you the benefit of a doubt.
Also got one of these. Simple.
That is much more a respectable piece. He says, but all that being said, we've got to get to work. Those drawings are for when we have time.
Sounds good.
He's
I'll
like,
leave you to it then. I'm going to go get some rest and pray to God I just close my eyes and wake up 7 hours later.
as you're turning around away, Tarek grabs you by the elbow, Drake, and turns you around, and he says, he looks you square in the eyes, and he says, "You need to understand something. You need to understand that it's not worth selling everything you are."
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning the Night Mother didn't pick you because you're willing to do things. The Night Mother picked you because you're willing to defend. There is a difference.
You're not wrong, but there's always lines people are and aren't willing to cross when defending something.
Yeah, and that's the truth of it. But the problem is, people have to be able to live with themselves.
It's not a problem for me. I've lived with worse.
Someday when we have time, we'll discuss the nature of living. It's like, but I'm holding you off from rest.
Lex, if I'm not up in 7 hours, wake me with an ice bucket.
He's like,
Bet.
never mind, Lex. I'll take that one.
You might enjoy it too much.
He's like, you're gonna get some sleep too, aren't you?
I mean, I probably should wash the blood off first, but yeah.
Probably, but yeah. Good, because, bone breakers are great. And he hefts up his hammer and drops on his shoulder. But stone breakers are crazy. He says, he nods to you, he says, get on.
Follows behind Drake.
Callie, what have you been doing?
I want to find a place on the deck where
Okay.
there's not a lot of action going on.
Okay.
Like there's not a lot of places or like people like rushing about not a lot of things. I just want to lay out on the deck and watch all the stars. Or what stars?
Yeah, it's very hard
Can
to
be
see
seen.
stars because of the cool thing about the mist is because you can't really see stars because of the mist itself. But because you're going so fast and because of the nature of how the mist reflects and refracts light, you get an aurora borealis effect when you're at this speed.
Perfect.
Nice.
You get
Even better.
waves and washes of color as you're just massively accelerating through these clouds. And so it looks like the aurora borealis just like streaking down by the ship.
Yeah, she's just gonna lay on the deck and watch that for a couple hours.
Couple hours. Just vegging out and relaxing.
Drift off into like that weird elf sleepy trance thing.
Yep. Gotcha.
Not even conscious.
Perfect.
Just
And Milagros, how is Utopia going to spend the time?
Right. Okay, so
Right.
the first no, for real. Like this is way overdue. So Utopia's first gonna try and find somewhere below deck where there really isn't anybody. And one of the places she is gonna check is the captain's quarters, but then be like, well, Val might come in. And then he's going to be a dad about it. And that's not what I need right now. I just need to have a mental breakdown in peace in a corner somewhere. So she's, finding like the bunk kind of area where we were staying and is like taking off all the heavy armor and just kind of slinking off into a corner somewhere and just bawling. Like, just like full body crying, like one of those like good cries, just a fucking mess. Because the little kids got to her. little kids got to her, and then everything exploded. And so like that put it off for a little bit, but like, oh my god. Yeah.
So you are just
Meltdown.
you're
bro.
releasing.
Yes.
You're venting everything.
Yes.
Val,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna go look for Remy.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Remy is absolutely covered, like in every single kind of dust and oil and everything like that. She's got like a spool of copper wire over one arm. She's got her toolkit, her tool belt is on. She's wearing her coveralls and like a muscle shirt underneath. She's got her hat with all the different types of goggles and spectacles on it on her head. And she's like she's actually talking to Evan as you come walking up, and he's dressed fairly similarly actually. As you come walking up, and she sees you coming, and she says, "All right, no, I'll get on in just 1 second." She's like, "I think the captain needs me," and she walks over and she's like, "What's going on?"
Val is just going to like walk up to her, just kind of look her over for a moment, just kind of shrug, and he's just gonna put his arms around her.
She kind of like for 1 second, she kind of like seems like she's shocked, and then she kind of just like leans into you and just like wraps her arms around you, and she just like she doesn't think your arms are kind of over her shoulders type thing.
Yeah.
So arms, and she got her arms around yours, and she just kind of like does that whole thing where she just like it's just like squeezing on your torso. Oh, thank you very much for the raid, Beggar Street.
Beggar Street!
Oh my god, hi Beggar Street! I only have vine bombs. I don't have the pew pew pew.
It's probably copyrighted, so.
Oh, I have a.
Oh
I have
shit!
a yay.
I'm sorry. We'll finish this, and I'll tell you the story. But he says, she says, she's squeezing you, and she's her head's right up against your head, and she's in. Thank you very much for the subscribing. You can look this up. But her head's right up against your head, and she whispers, she's like, "We almost died, didn't we?"
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't. Real glad.
She kind of stops and she says, "I know we can't go to Ayla
We really want to be able to do that for you. We do.
because we can't. Everything right now is more important than one." She kind of like, she pulls back from you and she looks at you and she says, "Thank you, though. I know if you could have, you would have made it happen."
There is some visible like conflict in his face, and then if you could tell us about them, we might be able to reach out and try and touch their minds, see if they're okay.
Is it mind to mind touch?
I believe message would be.
If you touched my mind, could I just show them to you?
Yes. And so we will create the mind link.
So you create a mind link, and she is showing you a scene where she is sitting, obviously at a table in a house somewhere, and sitting across from her, there is a person, short trimmed hair, very light in coloration, hazel eyes, tan, almost swarthy skin,
Okay.
pointed ears, slightly elongated canines, and their hands look a little like their fingernails are long, but instead of just being long and like manicured, they seem to be thick, more like claws. And as they're looking at her and talk, and you can see they're listening. You can't really hear what they're saying, but you can see that they're listening to them. And they nod, and they smile. And as they smile, you can see that they're not like pronounced like orally pronounced canines. They're fangs. And she says, "This is Aiden. They're a Dampier." They don't. I don't know if you've heard of Dampiers. They're not exactly common. His family's the only family I'd ever met.
Read fairy stories about them.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
they're real.
Wow. That is. They're gorgeous.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to go to Ayla, is because if they have the ability to survive this. That's why I haven't given up hope. At the same time, I would still like to know. So if you can find them and just let me know that they're okay.
And Val will take one of her hands in theirs and will look her in the eye. Yeah. And we're immediately going to cast message and aim it at Aiden.
All right. Do you want to do this tonight, or do you want to wait until next?
Oof. That is a good question.
Roll for it.
Oh, roll for it.
All right. High roll tonight, low roll next week.
All right.
So, here we go. Low roll it is.
All right.
Damn. I would like to say one thing before we go off.
Sure.
While that image is happening, she's sharing the image to Val's mind. One tear.
I think that's a perfect way to end. All right, so thank you all for being part of the trauma tonight. I love you all very much. Malagos, do you hate me forever?
Not quite yet, because you didn't kill the orphans. That would have been fucked up.
I would not do that. We
That would've
literally
been
have a
fucked up.
We literally have a checklist, and there are several people who
blew
marked.
up like 3 cities.
I have blown up lots of things, and I've never mentioned
Lots
the
of
children.
people we died. No one we knew.
No one we
No,
knew.
literally.
Yet.
Yeah.
That we know of.
You killed 100 people. No one we knew.
That
we know of.
we know of.
Listen, I'm gonna go back to my cave and it's gonna be gone. Everything's
Yeah, 'cause
gone.
they're gonna have
It's gonna be
moved to the big
fucking
city.
gone.
Nope.
It's gonna be fucking gone.
Just
So-
gonna be the last of my people.
Oh, hey.
You're gonna be the last. You're gonna be the last unicorn.
I am
Kelly-
the last.
Callie and
Sticks
Utopia.
mushroom on head.
Callie and
Pointed
Utopia
mushroom.
can form a last of their people club.
So okay, Cassie.
Yeah.
How are you doing? You okay?
I'm good.
You good? You're just laying there tripping balls.
Yeah, a little bit.
Cassie, where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
I have social media where you can follow me at LadyVamp. I don't do things on social media, but I'm there and you can talk to me.
Yes, you can, and you can follow her here.
Oh, and you can catch me on Tuesdays with ADH Adventures for Turning Point, because I always forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Cassie. I love mushrooms.
Mushrooms are great. Mushrooms are great.
Mushroom dance.
Sphinx. Mushroom dance.
Whatever could it mean?
Yeah.
We'll come to you early tonight so you can do your
Oh
thing.
my.
Phrasing.
Where can
Wow.
people find you on the mighty interwebs?
I'm Sphinx Akasha, aka Circle DM on TikTok, Sphinx Akasha on Hive, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays right here at Dinner in the Game, playing Emerald Sanctums and Kingdoms of Mist, respectively. It's a great time, so please come and check that out. On every other Friday, you can find me with the Alex Bomb channel playing Initiatives and Intrigue, but on the opposing Fridays, you can find me on the ADH Adventures channel where I run my own campaign, Agents of the Circle. It's a fun homebrewed version of Eberron where the players play as special agents in charge of kind of keeping the world safe. Right now, we're in the Bard City, the Bard Nation, rather, of Anthem, that is ruled by King Bootsy Collins. And they have entered the Temple of the 36 Chambers and are facing their trials with the Brotherhood of the Wu-Tang. They've already defeated the Jizza, and they are about to face up with the Rizza next week. So tune into that. On Saturdays, you can find me switching back and forth with ADH Adventures between Heroes Arc and Unlicensed Magic War Crimes. This week is an Unlicensed Magic Week, so come and check that out. And then on Sundays, again with ADH Adventures, playing in a new game, a new campaign called The Tale That Never Was, where I play a Kalishtar Aberrant Mind Sorcerer who's my answer to the question, what if Howl Pendragon was a Kalishtar and Calcifer was his Eldritch Quarry? It's a fun time.
Absolutely. Bliss.
Hello, hi. That's
Hi.
me.
That's you. Where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
You can find me at various iterations of at Miss Liss or at Miss Liss 2 on most of the social medias. Obviously here on Wednesdays, and you can find me on Saturdays playing Monster Hearts 2, The Breakfast Club, over on the Starfield, and usually on Monday nights in the Starfield chat because I'm that asshole who has to clip the entire show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Sam, where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
Other than finding me here on Wednesdays, you can find me on most social medias at Markov and Co. On Twitch, you can find primarily the wife at the moment. Me here, hopefully, is starting up next week. More specifically, Tuesday, hopefully around 2 p.m. If I'm even able to get into the server by that time. We'll see. You guys can also find me as well over on ADH Adventures on Tuesdays for Turning Point. As well as tomorrow, you can find me over on Turn to Page 394. More than likely, we're going to be hosting tomorrow as well. So if you can't find that one, you can always jump onto ours to watch for the Star Wars game that my wife runs. As we start our infiltration, as we finally have the full cast not being screwed over by the scheduling monster. Finally.
Hey, it's the greatest adversary any gamer ever will face is scheduling.
Oh yeah, and if I could shoot it in the face repeatedly, I would gladly do so. But apparently that's against the law.
Well, considering you'd be shooting nothing and the bullets would go somewhere, yeah, it's against the law.
Yeah, my foot.
My foot, probably. Milagros.
Yep.
I saved the traumaed one for last.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
And where can people
great.
find you on the mighty interwebs?
People can find me Monday nights and Saturday mornings on the Starfield, and then Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights here with Dinner and a Game. I stream on my own. Hi, Bean. I stream on my own channel, Fountain Pen Femme, here on Twitch on Friday nights, where I get to relive all the old suffering from this campaign, like the sacking of Ayla and death of my character's entire family. Family is in like the household who raised her. She's actually the last of her entire bloodline. It's fine. It's totally not a lot of pressure for a random 19-year-old. And then
you're just a child.
She's 19. She's
Child.
19 years old.
Child.
She's a baby. And And I can also be found on TikTok and on Instagram, where I am posting ways that storytellers and other writers can use tarot in their creative process. This week, I will be showcasing another tarot deck and doing a video on it, as well as showing the first tarot spread that I ever designed, and it's for character creation. And it's shaped like a little guy.
Aw.
And it's helped me with certain tricky characters. It helps you kind of figure out what their deal actually is, as well as can help you figure out some like aesthetic stuff, because the symbolism in tarot is so pretty, and I have a lot of really beautiful decks that I think should get more love. So yeah, you can
Excellent.
find me there. Everything's in the link tree.
Yep.
Nice.
And everyone's actual links are in chat right now. Remember, the biggest thing you can do for any creator is give them a follow. It shows them their work is appreciated and you enjoy what they do. And every single one of these people creates amazing content. So please go give them a share. Even Cassie, who says she doesn't do anything, is just amazing by existence. Therefore, does
It's
something.
true.
There is a backlog of TikToks. They just have not filmed. In
That's a
years.
move. That is a move right there.
Absolutely. And also, don't remember any of
Don't
this.
remember.
Just
Don't remember any
Don't
of it.
remember, don't remember
Don't
anything.
remember all of Drake's
The
war
VODs
crimes.
remember for you.
Yes, absolutely. You can find all Dinner and Games links in our link tree there. Remember, if you want to support us, we are no longer a part of the affiliate network on Twitch. We have started up our Patreon. If you want to go support us there, you can. We have multiple different levels, but the highest tier is only $15. And for that tier level, we will be doing a monthly Patreon game for everyone on that tier level. We already only need 3 more people to be able to run the game. So if you want to support us and you want to get to play in a one shot, go ahead and get us, put in $15 and you will be signed up for it. Streaming or not is up to the group. You just let us know what you guys are more comfortable with, and we will go ahead and make that happen. And that is going to be the highest tier level, but we have stuff all the way down to $1 because every single dollar helps. Trust us. Now, in the meantime, if you want to join these insane people, you can join our Discord, if I can spell, and you can catch up with the cast of both of our shows, as well as everyone else in the Dinner and a Game family. Because at Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table, and we want you to be safe and healthy and come back and join us for this chaos every single time you can. And to do that, you just need to be careful with yourself. Social distance, wear a mask where you can. Take care of yourselves. And what we're going to do now is we're going to find some lovely, lovely people to go do on what they call the raid. We're going to jump into their audience. Everyone, when you get there, tell them hello. Tell them thank you for creating content for you to enjoy. And make sure that you guys just show some love. Give them a follow if you can. And we are going to jump into who. Anyone got any recommendations tonight?
Let me even
I see that Dork Tales is on, and Blackwater D&D is on. But they're pretty big streams. See who else is on.
Let's see. Insomnia Night RPG is doing D&D. Goodman Games Official is doing tabletop RPGs.
Insomnia Night, you said?
Yeah, Insomnia Night RPG.
I haven't heard of them before, so excuse me.
Neither have I. They've come up on my recommended channels list.
Insomnia. Oh, there you are. Insomnia Night.
Yeah.
All right. So we have actually never rated this channel, but I can see they have a lot of really cool art in their overlay. So this should be interesting. We're gonna go give them a raid. Like I said, make some noise, let them know where you came from Dinner and a Game. Do whatever you can to let these people know you appreciate them creating content. We are gonna say goodnight to you guys. We thank you so much for everything, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. I will be running on Friday night. I'm actually going to be running the first session of Tales from the Loop, which is our Stranger Things-esque game, which is going to be every other Friday starting this weekend. And we hope you will be able to join us. We love you, and we will see you later.